are you? Happy Tuesday. I'm so glad to have you here today because today we are going to sort out all this mess of information you have going on inside your head that is messing you up. There's too much going on. You are Googling too much. You're Binging too much. You're Yahooing too much. All that kind of stuff. Talking to your friends, listening to TV, the whole thing. Streaming too much, getting too much information in your head. It's messing with you. And it is purposeful, by design, and very natural. We have to stop it. And we're going to do that today, if that's okay, by going back about 2,300 years and remind you of something that was taught a long time ago. It's a daily boost from motivationtomove.com. The positive boost you need every single day because we need to take positive control of our life. We need a little bit of a boost, no matter what. This is, come here real close, okay? This, to me, some people can poo-poo the act of motivation, and trust me, this is not a motivation show. Wait a second. My goal is to motivate and inspire you. I will. If you listen closely, I'm going to help you do that because I believe you can do anything. I believe you need somebody to help lift you up a little bit. I believe that the world is tough. It's going to bowl you down if you're not careful. But ultimately, we need strategies and ideas. We need clear thinking to get what we want. And in almost every case, when I work with somebody who says, Scott, I need motivation, what I find is lack of clarity and confusion. Need some ideas like we talked about yesterday and some information to get you there. We're going to talk about a little bit more of that today. Glad to have you. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com with the raspy voice, the grandchild-inflicted cold this week. Feel pretty good, but it has put me in a stream of consciousness this week, which I'll share with you a bit. You know, I've been digging into a program I produced about 13 years ago, Face Your Passion. I'm redoing it from start to top to bottom. It's completely different. There's nothing, well, there's the good, the stuff that really works is still in there. We're just kind of moving it around a little bit. But it's caused me to do some thinking and dig into it a little bit. And I was thinking about the name yesterday because one of the questions I get often for people when they come to me, Scott, I just want to know what my purpose is. I want to know how to live in my passion every single day. It's a huge question. I think they're different, by the way. I think your purpose is, yes, it's your life purpose, what you're heading after. I think your passion is what you're doing every single day and how you toil to get there. And as I think about that even more and more, if I go into the word passion, I go back a little bit in time to the original Latin root of passion. Not going to go too deep here, but it essentially means to suffer, suffering. Now, a long time ago, that might have meant, okay, I've got to hate what I do. You got to work really hard at it to get what you want, right? And it's kind of moved along. Translations don't carry forward in the future all the time. These days, the word passion often comes down to more of a romantic thing, but still, it is that passionate thing you do every single day to get what you want in life. And it's not always easy, is it? And sometimes I think in the world we live in, people want their happiness to be easy. It is. It's a method of subtraction to get to it, not addition. We'll talk about that today. But it is not necessarily easy. And in many cases, most cases, I believe you don't want it to be easy. You want it to be all-encompassing. Something gets inside you, it keeps you busy. And yeah, while it may be hard, it's nothing but satisfying. There's an easy way to get there. I'll talk about that today. With a concept called adequate information. What is adequate information? If you've listened to me before a long time, I'm a fan of stoicism. I'm not a stoic kind of guy. I don't live by it every single day. I don't live by much every single day. I tend to take the things that work and stick to them, and not everything works. A little here, a little there, put together your own recipe, right? That's what I do. But the Stoics, way back in, 23, 24, 20, 25, 2,600 years ago, something like that, School of Philosophy, they had a very simple piece of information that I use all the time. And it really guides my day, and it guides all my coaching. It guides everybody I work with, and it's usually the number one thing that I can do to straighten any confusion out. And that is something called adequate information. So as we work toward our passion and living within our purpose, if we can define adequately what we need to know, life is going to be a lot easier. Now, before I go on, because I know your head's spinning every single day, let me tell you that this world is all about generating crazy amounts of information. It's how people make money. Heck, this show, I could be guilty of this myself. If I don't generate more information every single day, y'all stop listening, don't you? You do. If I don't come up with a new idea for you to put out a show tomorrow, you're not going to listen. So what do? I generate more information. So I'm part of the problem. Everybody is. It's human nature. So my hope and my prayer for you is that as you listen to the amount of information I put out every single week, that you pull out the nuggets, the adequate information within what I teach, grab that and run with it. Let the others just float away, because there's about 25 nuggets in everything I teach every single day, and one of them is for you. We have to do that in today's busy world. Whether it's my show or anything you listen to, you have to stop the paralyzation and the dream stopping that comes into place when you're going after your purpose and your passion, feeling it in your bones. You can get there, and yet you're so confused because there's so much coming at you, trying to soak up every piece of information. It's confusing. Now, the secret is this. When you're looking for anything, know what you're looking for. Know your outcome. Knowing where you're heading. It makes it easier to see the information that makes sense. And you reach out and you grab that information, try it, see if it makes sense. If not, get rid of it right away and look for the next one. Keep on going. You're going to need more. You're not going to know your path all along down the road. What's going to happen is, as you go down the road, it's as if somebody's turning lights along the way. And every time you get to an intersection, somebody steps up and goes, go that way. That's what you're doing. You're looking for the adequate information. But the first place to get there is understand that you can't take every single piece of information coming at you and expect to make use of it. Instead, what you need to do is know your outcome best you can. I understand that's difficult. And from my point of view, I never tell anybody to know their outcome at the very end. I think it's silly advice. I think it's advice that has been given by a lot of personal development gurus over the years. It's 10 years down the road. If you can imagine it, imagine exactly how it's going to be and then go for it, you'll get it. BS. It changes between now and then. There's no possible way that you can know exactly what you want and what it's going to be like 10 years down the road if you've never done it before. If it's your first day arriving at the Daily Boost podcast and you're beginning to dream and think about what your life is going to be like, you have no idea what it's going to be like. You know that. Let's be honest about it. Stop lying to yourself and stop listening to all the people that are lying to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. No, we figure out where we're going to be best we can, and then we get at it, figure it out, and work it out as we go. We find our way. That's life. Once you know your outcome, you're going to toss out about 80% of what is in your day. Something I've been very fond of doing lately is get rid of it. I'm telling you, we'll talk more about that here in the coming weeks, probably September. How almost everything you're doing today and paying attention to today doesn't matter. It's not helping you get anything. It's keeping you right where you are, stuck where you are. When you deem the information you have adequate for you, when it makes sense to you, and only when it makes sense to you, then you act on it. Ignore the other stuff. What's going to happen, though? People around you can say, what are you doing ignoring that for? I told you what to do. It's like, what are you going to do? Stand in their face and say, yeah, but what you told me is not adequate information. It's BS. You might have to say that. Or just walk away. There's too much going on. You don't need to know everything before you start. But you need to at least have an idea where you're heading and be willing to look for very specifically those answers you want to trust and validate and test and see if they get you further and closer to your goal, even if you don't know exactly what your goal is. And here's the cool thing. Oftentimes I will head down the road and they say, what you going to do, Scott? And I'll say, I don't know. Don't know exactly what it is. I'll know when I see it. I'll know when I find the path. I'll know when I find the secret to get there. But I do know what it doesn't look like. I do know what I don't want. I'm not going that path. If I don't have the answer today, I'll have it tomorrow. All I need to do is get that adequate information and keep getting it. And my life gets easier and better and things move faster. I'm telling you, and the new program, when I do release it here, no timetable yet because it's taking longer than I thought, is really based on simplicity. It removes 80% of your world and requires you just to kind of be ritualistic in how you do things. Step-by-step process. It removes the buzz of the world. And that's hard to do because there's a lot of buzz out there. Okay, coming up tomorrow, habits that transform your life every single day. If you do nothing fancy, nothing crazy, it's not 100 things on the list. You don't need to do that many. A couple a day will get it done for you. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Later on in the week, understanding the 4 kinds of clarity. You thought there was 1, didn't you? There are 4. We'll look at that. And later on, if you want to be a leader, on Friday's show, we'll talk about how you can learn from other leaders and give you some examples of how leaders think and you can apply instantly to your life. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Boost.